All right, right now we're testing out to see if the microphone even works. Okay, that means that it does, because I have this going on my other screen. So we're going to get into this here. We probably have about 0 viewers, but we'll get into this. Okay, let me mute my computer. All right. So first ever live stream. I've been wanting to go live quite a bit on the channel here, so here we finally are going live here on YouTube Berlick. Hope you guys enjoy the videos. Thanks for watching. Even if nobody watches this one, that's okay, because I'm going to be streaming things like, of course, music theme stuff here on Berlick. And then, of course, my Pennsylvania Penalty Shots League. It's in the link, not the link description. It's in my featured channels list. It's my sports league that we have. The official Penalty Shots League of the state of Pennsylvania. Definitely. But yeah, let's get into this thing with the 0 viewers. But today we're going to be going over a list that I've been working on for a while now, and I turned it into a Spotify playlist. Now, if I check here, yeah, it's a link in the description of this live right now. It is the playlist that I have up on Spotify of my list of the top 10 songs ever. Now, on Spotify, it's in no particular order. I'm pretty sure it's just in the order that I added the songs. But here, we're going to be going over my top 10 songs ever. Not in my personal opinion, even though I love all these songs and think that they're 10 out of 10s, is the songs that I think objectively are 10 out of 10s, and what a good list with variety of the top 10 songs ever would be. Consider checking out my band, A Bowl Scream of Wheat. Also in the featured channels list, of course, I got my Berlick channel, got Coins and Gaming, got my band. It's a great album collaboration with Liam Walker, who's also in the PP Pennsylvania Penalty Shots League. So yeah, consider checking it out. We're also available on Bandcamp. It's a pretty decent album, in my opinion. But yeah, so the top 10 songs of all time. I tried to pick the highest reviewed of the high for these, but also like songs that are on albums in my collection. Obviously, I own all 10 of these CDs with the songs that we're going to be talking about today. But then I also tried picking some subjectively incredible songs. But I believe every single song on this list is a 10 out of 10. And I absolutely love all of them. They're all in my top 20 favorite songs of all time. And I think objectively, they're all the 10 best songs ever. So let's start this live with 0 viewers and get into it. Hopefully someone shows up. Even if it doesn't, we can just condense it into a video, So this is going to be pretty in-depth. Yeah, the top 10 songs ever made. I guess we'll just get into the list. I mean, I'm going to be going really in-depth. I got my computer right here watching my live stream. It's delayed. As you can see right there. My Windows 1 computer. But yeah, the top 10 songs of all time. Starting at number 10. The playlist is in the description. Okay, so top 10 songs ever. They're all 10 out of 10s. The 10th best song of all time is one that I believe is actually by far the shortest song on this list. Most of these songs surpass like the long song mark. They're all like over. But these bottom 3 here, but this one is by far the shortest. This song comes in at like 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and I'll kind of hint up to it. Okay, I'll give some hints. It is the one of the most acclaimed alternative rock, alternative metal, new metal songs ever. And but you're thinking like, new metal? How does new metal make this list? I don't know, okay? Because this is my 3rd favorite band ever, and they're somehow considered new metal. It's from this album right here. Okay. Like, this album right here is incredible. But we're doing the top 10 songs ever. So, in my opinion, the 10th best song ever made is the title track off of their 2001 album. That's right. Toxicity by System of a Down is, in my opinion, the 10th best song ever made. And the CD just fell right here. So yeah, I mean, I could have picked so many songs from this album. I could have picked, of course, Chop Suey. I could have picked Aerials, which I really my personal favorite. But I went with another 10 out of 10 song that simply is not only popular, over 1 billion streams on Spotify, but it's incredibly, acclaimed. Why is the video so blurry? I hope it doesn't look like that. It does. But I picked, just like a medium of that. Toxicity, I believe, my 2nd favorite song in this album. And yeah, it's a top 10 song ever for me. So, why? We'll go over the song. So it just comes after, a really chaotic stretch in the album, which the entire album is very chaotic and just keeps punching in the face, hit after hit. But I'm seeing myself punching my face on the other screen. But it's great. And it just starts with the guitar riff. Bam, bam, ding, bam, 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 boom, boom, bam, 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 bam. That into of course, one of the most iconic grooves of all time. It's pretty iconic. I'd argue just as iconic as Chop Suey is. But what this song is, it's literally just hard riffs, perfect vocals, and absolutely incredible energy for its entire 3.5-minute runtime. Let's get into the lyrics. Just like that iconic riff, it goes so hard. Every single member is absolutely locked in on this one. So what are the lyrics about? Conversion, software version 7.0. Looking at life through the eyes of a tire hub. Eating seeds as a pastime activity. The toxicity of our city. What do you own the world? How do you own disorder? Like, this entire album and band is very political charged, but the lyrics about this song, I believe, are about ADD. It's just like super interesting. As also some of the down lyrics pretty much are. They're either like completely out there and weird or super politically charged or about something actually deep. But it's not like I'm 14 and this is deep style. It's like I'm 35 years old and this is deep. You know what I'm saying? It actually is deep stuff. So what System of a Down were able to do, I believe this is an absolutely perfect song, obviously. If I believe it's the 10th best song ever. So we can look it up. What is... I'm probably going to have to do this for every single song in here, just so we can get like a true like in-depth explanation. Okay, I did not spell toxicity right. But overall, the song has like some of the hardest riffs ever. And it has just perfect vocals from Serj, who is one of the best vocalists of all time. And it's just an absolutely perfect song. Like, how can it not be, So, it actually doesn't have a confirmed line-by-line meaning, obviously. But the broad idea is that the song is about the social and environmental decay of modern cities and society. And... of course, one of its famous lines is, somewhere between the sacred silence and sleep, somewhere between the sacred. It's so catchy. It's a really catchy song, and love it. Fans have often proposed, again, interpretations involving ADHD, homelessness, addiction, or Los Angeles specifically. A lot of that makes sense. I thought it was ADD. Makes sense there. But, it's just like... The lyrics are incredible, and also some of the down songs, again, as I said. But I just really believe that if you're going to pick a track with them, I love Chop Suey and everything, but I just always felt that the self-titled track on Toxicity, it just goes harder. I think the riffs are harder. I think that the vocals, like, I think there's more energy to them. I know that's kind of crazy to say, but I like the energy more, like the vibe more of Toxicity. And I think with my third favorite band ever and an absolute 10 out of 10 album in Toxicity, I feel like you kind of have to have the titled track as its representation of a top 10 song ever, And everybody loves System of a Down. It's kind of hard not to, And it just works so well. It's a song that works so dark. There's many down tracks that you could put on here. But ultimately, I did end up going with Toxicity. I originally was going to go Forest, but I was like, it can't be Forest. Then I was going to go Chop Suey, but I was like, I feel like overall, the title track across fans of the album is better than Chop Suey. And I completely agree. So the 10th best song of all time is going to be Toxicity by System of a Down. So that's what we're going with for our number 10 here. All right. That's what we're going with for our number 10. Why is the connection so poor? Is it because it's probably because I'm streaming on mobile. Okay, so what is the 9th best song of all time? We're gonna stay after the new millennium, whatever the word is. But we're not gonna be in the 2000s. We're gonna be in the later 2010s here. We're gonna be switching our genres from new metal, alternative rock. 2. Song here. Now, this one you could argue. I feel like a lot of these are arguable, obviously, but I think, oh my gosh, just made a weird sound with my teeth because I have Invisalign. But what I think about why is this thing skipping so much? Jeez. But what I think about this song is that it's on one of the best albums of all time. Like an album that I think is absolutely a 10 out of 10. And it just features some of the best production. It's so psychedelic, and it's just revered as one of the best albums ever made. Okay, the song is from Kids See Ghosts' self-titled and only album. This is one of, if not my favorite rap album ever. It's probably either this or Eminem's Marshall Mathers LP. And I love Eminem, but spoiler alert, he did not have a song that on here. Stan was close. Stan was probably top 20, top 30, but he did not have a song that on here. So what are you thinking? You know, what song is on here? There's so many great tracks, but a lot of them are on the shorter side. And I don't want to pick songs that are that short. So I went with one of the most just motivational, beautiful songs ever as the 9th best song of all time. That's going to be track 5 on this album, Reborn. All right, Reborn is, in my opinion, the 9th best song ever. Now, it has a 95 score on Album of the Year, which I feel like it should be higher. Maybe not 98 Club, because 98 Club is like, for like longer tracks, like true experiences. But Reborn is an experience. And literally just like, I'm so reborn. Keep moving forward. It's beautiful. It's such a beautiful song. It's so psychedelic. The production is perfect on it. And it's so catchy. Like Kid Cudi, I've never been a big Kid Cudi fan, to be completely honest. He has a couple great early songs, and he has some of the worst music I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, Speeding Bullet to Heaven. Yeah. You know, he hasn't, in my opinion, made anything good since 2010, aside from this. That might be a hot take. I don't really know. Booklet smells great. Album cover artwork's incredible. But overall, what I think about Reborn is that Kid Cudi's vocals are majestic. It's just one of the most catchy, timeless hooks that is kind of hard to get tired of. And I think Kanye's verse on here is great. It's just like, it's just super, you know, self-conscious, super open, and it really works. It really goes with the beat, and I believe that Kanye's spitting on it. Not a single bad word on the entire thing. By bad word, I mean like nothing like of low quality. There's nothing low quality on this because every song's like a 10. Okay, but yeah, the beat itself, like how it begins with like the little, you know, hits of the keyboard, and then straight into Cudi going like, oh, yeah. You know how he does it, like the moaning, singing. It's perfect. And like, you know, something about this album is that you could pick a lot of songs from it, but I just went with the longest one because at the end of the day, you know, Reborn is a really motivational, super beautiful song. And I feel like if you're going to make a list of the top 10 songs ever, you've got to have an uplifting song like Reborn. And I'm not done talking about it, but we have a viewer from Brazil. Hello, thanks for watching because this is my first ever stream on this channel. And no viewers yet. So thank you for tuning in. We're talking about the top 10 songs ever. We're at number 9 right now. So let's look up what the track is about, which is kind of obvious in the title. Reborn is about rebirth. It's about, you know, keeping your head up and moving forward, but let's just look it up just to see if there's anything else. All right. Yeah, it's about healing, recovery, and moving forward after struggling with mental illness, addiction, trauma, and personal mistakes. And I just think a song like that is super beautiful. The production's perfect. It sounds massive. All like these like vocal chops and wow that go around when you listen to it in headphones. Kanye's verses are perfect. His verse, one of my favorite verses of all time. It's so catchy. Kid Cudi kills it on here. And you know, just things about letting go of the past, mental health and recovery. Super self-conscious, super beautiful, and it's a perfect track in my opinion. Um, yeah, you might be saying, you know, kind of a simple song to have on. It's fair. I think it's fair, but I wanted a more recent song. I wanted a very uplifting, beautiful song. So I feel like Kids See Ghosts Reborn would really get that. Reborn is phenomenal, and like not really much to say about it. It's a pretty simple song, but every element throughout its 5.5-minute runtime is extremely perfect. It's the longest song on this album. Reborn by Kids See Ghosts, Kanye West, Kid Cudi is going to be my number 9 pick here for the 9th best song ever made. So, yeah, let's continue our list here. Saying Toxicity and Kids See Ghosts are around like that 95 rated range for consensus music. This one is one of the nice. Now, if you're talking about rating everything from average everybody's score on a 100 scale for music, you're never going to be able to get a 100. Nobody's going to be able to collectively agree that a song is a 10 out of 10. 99 is pretty impossible too. So a 98 is usually the best score. And that's why whenever a song reaches a point of a 98, you gotta appreciate it for being one of the best songs of all time. My number 8 pick is an album that features a 98. But the song that is the 98 is not being included. It is alternative metal, alternative rock, rap rock from the 90s. And you're thinking, why would that make the list? Because there's one band that really deserves to be on here. And this album has a 98. Spoiler, I'm not using the 98 though. And number 8, it's from Evil Empire, one of my top 10 favorite albums of all time. And the song, it's not Bulls on Parade. Okay, the song, in my opinion, is longer, more multifaceted, has harder riffs, and is even better lyrically. The 8th best song of all time, in my opinion, is Down Rodeo from Evil Empire in 1996. Down Rodeo is, in my opinion, the magnum opus of Rage Against the Machine and Audioslave, for that matter. One of my top 10 favorite bands ever, and one of my top 10 favorite albums ever. And one of the top 10 best songs ever. So it's kind of good, you know. I love myself some Rage. But, I mean, iconic album. Why Down Rodeo? Because this track kind of has 3 phases. If you watched my videos, I did a Rage Against the Machine top 10 songs list. Obviously, you picked the number 1. And I kind of went over how it had 3 different phases. There's the opening phase. For about 3 minutes, it is just the verse, chorus, verse, chorus. And every riff here literally is the hardest riff imaginable. It goes so hard, every single riff. Like, it starts off with like the who are their musicians? You know, Zach De La Rocha is one of the best vocalists and rappers ever. Tim Comerford on bass. It's distorted, really distorted, and it's incredible. Tom Morello, kind of a polarizing guitarist, but he's phenomenal at what he does. He's one of my, if not my favorite guitarist of all time. I think every riff he writes, I think, is really, really hard. And I think it's really experimental. Not even playing the guitar solo style is perfect. And Brad Wilk might also be my favorite drummer of all time. So that's saying pretty good stuff. So the song in and of itself has some of the hardest lyrics ever. And if I were to get like a tattoo of something, I don't know why a white guy would get a tattoo of this. But I feel like this would be a pretty good lyric to tattoo. I mean, it starts off like, so now I'm rolling down Rodeo with a shotgun. These people ain't seen a brown-skinned man since their grandparents bought one. Yo, it's so good. Evil Empire, man, what an album. But I keep forgetting, you know, I always talk about albums. We're talking about songs today. The sun's going down, so it's going to start getting darker. But as for this track, everything about it. Every riff, the drums, the hard hitting. Zach De La Rocha is always the most just like energetic, you know, performer. Always rocking the mic. Best with all buffering here. Okay. We were buffering. I don't know if it keeps going. But combining energy with just like these all-time lyrics here, and that's exactly what he does. Is this light work? Oh, yes, it does. Okay, nice. So this song, like, it's my favorite Rage song, and 100%, like you're saying, if you're making an objective top 10 songs ever, You should probably be using Bulls on Parade, but I'm sorry, I just can't. Down Rodeo is the stronger song. So Down Rodeo is going to take the cake here. And we'll just look it up again. What is Down Rodeo about? I just think that Rage Against the Machine are like the hardest going band ever. So it's about racial inequality, class conflict, and concentration of wealth and power in America. It's super political, just like the average Rage Against the Machine song. What do you expect? But I just believe that, again, we go through all three phases of the track, the verse, chorus. It contains so many of the hardest bars ever dropped in music history, with all the hardest riffs going back to back. And then after around that point, the song kind of stops and just kind of left with the... And then, Zach De La Rocha coming in here with, some quieter vocals. What is it? Oh, yeah. The rungs torn from the ladder. Can't reach the tumor. One God, one market, one truth, one consumer. And you're into these just like pounding around, like burn, 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 burn. Back to the cymbal. Do, 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 do. Bass really high mix. Usually higher mix than the guitar. And then Zach is just screaming, like making the sound barrier. Just a quiet, peaceful dance back into this. Like, it goes so hard, and I think the way that Zach screams is like God tier. Hello from Kuwait. Yes, Kuwait is my favorite country. I'm native, by the way, guys, because one time in school I did a presentation about Kuwait, so that means that's where I am from. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know who Seamus, but thanks for tuning in. Okay. So I think everything about that's incredible. They just repeat this, banging on the drums with the bass, back to the cymbals, do 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 do. Zach De La Rocha, like you can hear the mic quality like kind of like fuzz out, and because he's screaming that loud. And then after this, again, he screams at it again, and then it's done. You're left with these restraint, just then he's whispering, just a quiet, peaceful dance for the things we will never have. Then the song ends. Everything about it. It's Rage Against the Machine. It's political. It's about a lot of inequality. It's about, rolling down Rodeo with a shotgun and being a brown-skinned man, the first your grandparents have seen since they bought one. If I had to get a tattoo about some, song lyric that had nothing to do with me, that would probably be the one that I would get. It's one of the best albums ever. And again, you might be saying, you should have picked Bulls on Parade. I'm going with Down Rodeo. I think it has the harder riffs, more emotional. I think it's even more lyrically diverse and elite. And I think all three of its sections are absolutely incredible. Yeah, and the title refers to Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, famous for luxury shopping. And then he extremes that. Zach extremes the wealth with the poverty and discrimination experienced by many Black, Latino, and working communities nearby. So yeah, Down Rodeo, I love it so much. So that I kept yapping about it and like narrating the songs. But when you're talking about the top 10 songs ever, I feel like you should be doing that because it's kind of, proves how good it is. So Down Rodeo, I'm going to say is the 8th best song ever. You could argue, yeah, Bulls on Parade maybe should pick for objectively better. But I believe that the riffs, the lyrics, and the phasing, and the multifaceted nature of Down Rodeo is just even better. So next up, we had stuff from the 2000s and the 90s. Now we're moving on to more of a classic. And, I'm always talking about leading up to this. Simply put, we're going from, we went from, metal, rap, back to metal. We're going to go into the synth pop genre now. I'm not even going to yap about building it up because it is my favorite album of all time. And that is going to be my number 7. It's from Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair. I'm so grateful for everything about this album. This is my favorite album ever made. All 8 songs are perfection. It changed my life. Boom. But, so, you're probably thinking, okay, you're going to pick Everybody Wants to Rule the World. No, I'm not, okay? Everybody Wants to Rule the World is a perfect song. Perfect pop song. One of the best songs. Literally nobody doesn't like that song. I'm pretty sure that's another 98 song. But I'm not picking it. Instead, I'm picking just like how Down Rodeo on this album. Just like how Bulls on Parade is like considered better than Down Rodeo. Even if Everyone Wants to Rule the World is considered better, the 7th greatest song of all time, in my opinion, is going to be Head Over Heels / Broken by Tears for Fears from Songs from the Big Chair. There it is right there. The penultimate track on this album. So this is one of the original songs that I loved. it was about 10 years ago now when I got into that song. I always knew Once to Rule the World. Like, I've just known that song. I was born, I knew that song. I feel like a lot of people can say the same thing. You just kind of hear it when you're a baby, and you just kind of live with it, and you always love it. The Head Over Heels, the single version itself is incredible, but we're talking about the album and the full versions of these songs. So it's another multifaceted track because it is Head Over Heels / Broken. And I believe that it just does everything Everybody Wants to Rule the World does, except slightly better. So first off, it's 80s synth pop, and it's one of the best produced albums ever. It sounds massive, okay? It sounds so good. And Head Over Heels begins with the iconic piano line. Din, 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 din. It's iconic and it's beautiful. Add the guitar like bow, wow, wow. It builds up, boom, 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 into the lyrics. I wanted to be with you alone and talk about the weather. It's so fun. It's like really, really fun. I just think that Head Over Heels is kind of like a perfect pop song, And the reason I pick it over Once to Rule the World is just because, again, it's more multifaceted in my opinion, as it has the / Broken, which we'll get to. But the first 2.5 minutes of Head Over Heels is just a perfectly crafted pop song. Perfect lyrics. It's kind of on the nose, but it's not on the nose enough. It sounds massive. It has that little keyboard solo going in there, which actually sounds huge. So I don't know why I'm saying little, but it sounds great. And it's so darn catchy. What is the song about? Oh, we're on caps lock. Yeah, this is a perfect song here, obviously, because we're now at the 7th best song ever made. we're getting up there. We're getting up there. So, Head Over Heels at its core is just a love song about being completely consumed by someone. But, like, it's not a straightforward romance, which is so great about it. Again, it's a little on the nose, but it's not there enough to be, bad, because it's perfect. It's a top 10 song ever. Wow. But it's like, yeah, it's filled with insecurity, self-doubt, and emotional confusion. Like, perfect pop song. Lyrics are all great. There's a keyboard solo, but then there's just the chorus. Something happens and I'm head over heels. And they just implement all these little, like, factors to the song. All these small keys. All these guitar riffs in the background. Bow, wow, 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 wow. Oh, don't take my heart, don't break my heart, don't throw it away. And then you just get into this drum fill, which is so hard. It's like boom, 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 boom. Then they finish the little drum fill and they bring it back into the song, but it's a normal song, but then they bring back that really catchy keyboard like from the beginning. And it's like din, 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 din. This is my 4-leaf clover. I just want to sing all these songs, to be completely honest. But also, yes, it does have a psychological angle, as a lot of Tears for Fears early work was, the primal therapy thing, Arthur Janov, I believe. So it's not just about falling deeply in love, because Tears for Fears always got to add their spin to it. But overall, it's just literally a perfect pop song, just like Everybody Wants to Rule the World. But the real reason why I give this thing the edge over it is the last 2 minutes is maybe the best minutes of music I've ever heard. Because they bring in all the members and they're just singing. It's just beautiful. It's so catchy. You cannot get tired of it. You could phone it forever. They're just going, na, 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 na. It's just, it plays in my head every time. And I can't stop it. Just like that catchy. It's that catchy and it's that beautiful as well. And overall, Roland, who's singing lead vocals on the song, he brings it back in. Funny how, bringing these synths. Time flies. And that's where the single version ends. And then this version continues going. And the previous track from this album, Broken, keeps going. And it's a live version of that song. So, time flies, and they bring in the live performance of Broken, and it's these really hard riffs. I don't know who's playing guitar on it, but they have a massive solo, and it's like last minute of the song is just them going ham, and a live performance of Broken, and after that great solo, Cheers, cheers and jeers from the audience, and it leads into listen. Maybe it's not Everybody Wants to Rule the World, but in my opinion, it's better. What I think it does, I think it's a perfectly, incredibly written love song and a perfect pop song with a great psychological angle to it as well. And it just features the last 2 minutes, which is some of my favorite minutes of music ever. Sorry for me keeping having strokes here, because it's a perfect pop song. The beautiful, angelic, catchy na-na-nas into Time Flies, into Broken. Like the last minute, too, of them going ham with the Broken live version is really, really where it's at. So, overall, I could talk about this song and this album, since it's my favorite album ever. I could talk about it all day, but we got to keep cruising here. So, the 7th best song of all time, in my opinion, is Head Over Heels. So, you might be noticing, okay, these first 4 songs on the list, all here. Again, my list right now, number 10, Toxicity, number 9, Reborn, number 8, Downward Arrow, number 7, Head Over Heels / Broken. They're not short songs. Toxicity is kind of a, average song. These other songs are like 5 minutes. Now we're getting into the really long songs, because now we're getting into the best of the best. These. Uh-oh. Come on. Am I running out of internet? I guess we'll see. I really don't know. I couldn't tell you. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, I think we're good. So yeah. For, not short, but like shorter length songs. We move back to the 70s. It's the prog rock days. Progressive rock and synth pop are probably my 2 favorite genres. Probably also with a post rock. So the 6th best song ever. It comes from one of my top 10 favorite albums of all time. It might be the like symphonic prog masterpiece. And it will be From Close to the Edge, and of course you know what song it is. It's the titled track from Close to the Edge by Yes. Close to the Edge. The 6th best song of all time, in my opinion. So, but also objectively, it's definitely a top 10 song ever objectively. So this song's 18 minutes. It's 18 minutes. It is perfect. It is huge. It is beautiful. It's Yes, Close to the Edge. And it has so many parts to it. Part 1, The Solid Time of Change. Part 2, Total Mass Retained. Part 3, I Get Up, I Get Down. That part's my favorite. And Part 4, Seasons of Man. And I think every part in and of itself is a 10 out of 10 song, but the way they are combined just makes it so much better. So, yeah, let's get into Close to the Edge. So, the song begins with silence, and slowly you hear, like, wildlife, like water falling, birds chirping, and these, like, little synths are, like, they keep building up for around the first minute, and then finally the song releases and it explodes with these chaotic guitars and drums and bass and synths, and they're just kind of, it's in some crazy time signatures. They're just kind of noodling around for around the first 3 minutes, which is, the Solid Time of Change. It's incredible. I love it. Some people have claimed that it's annoying, like the 5 people that don't like this song. I don't see it, because I think it's just a great burst of energy to start out the album, in my opinion. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. The song is just really great, but in this chaotic intro, the song pauses every once in a while, and then John Anderson is going like, and then he brings it back in. They're just going ham again, stops again, dot, 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 stops, and then boom, it explodes, and you're just left with these beautiful riffs. The song slows down, it goes from the chaos, you probably, if you're watching this, which even though there's one viewer, if you're watching this, you probably know the song. Overall, the song really gets going, around the 4-minute mark. Obviously, it's great before that, but it is very chaotic, and the song hasn't really reached the song yet. We're still kind of introducing the land of Close to the Edge, which is not a bad land to go to. It's absolutely beautiful. Look at that, my goodness. So then, actually exactly on the 4-minute mark, John Anderson finally comes in with some lyrics. A season which would call you from the depths of your disgrace and rearrange your liver to the solid mental grace. I think that's really cool. I really like that. And like the Solid Time of Change has these lyrics here, and they're just kind of getting into it, and then finally he's like down at the end, round by the corner, close to the edge, just by the river. But then you get into like after it's still chaotic, this beautiful melody. Seasons will pass you by. I get up, bound, bound. They're like slamming the guitars. I get down now that it's all over and done. Now that you find, now that you're whole, and then they bring back in all the instruments, and then you're into Total Mass Retain. My eyes convinced eclipse what the younger moon attained with love. It changed as almost strained amidst clear manna from above. John Anderson. I just heard a firework. John Anderson, one of my favorite songwriters of all time. Holy, these are good lyrics. Super, cool. They're low-key abstract, but they're also just really descriptive, and they rhyme great, and they're perfect. Sixth best song ever. They kind of have to be. But, yeah. Overall, I would take 90, like, considering how these first 4 entries on this top 10 songs ever list, considering how those entries took like 10 minutes each, this 18-minute song would take years, so I'm going to have to stop describing every little thing. But overall, it begins chaotic, and they bring in the beautiful melodies. Total Mass Retain comes in. It's more similar stuff to the Solid Time of Change, except more of like a, normal like rock song. I believe, now this version of the I'm Not Heavy is bonus tracks, I believe, yes, Total Mass Retain, so part 2 of Close to the Edge, was the single, so that does make sense. But overall, the song then kind of calms down. You're left with these really nice ding, 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 and then the keyboard, bam, 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 bam. It's really chill. And then finally, around the 10th minute mark, there's just an explosion. And you can hear it. It sounds like you're in a cave. The reverb is insane. There's like these little, little like water droplet sounds. And the reverb's there. And then some of these like horns that are going like boom, passing you by. It sounds massive, and I'm kind of like getting chills thinking about it right now. That's a joke I have with a couple friends from the Pennsylvania Paladin Shots League. Consider checking us out. I just got chills thinking about it. It's kind of a joke that we have, but it actually, yeah. Because after this, explosion, it kind of sounds like you're in a cave. You hear the little organs in the background, din, din, din. And it just keeps getting a bit louder and louder. We enter I Get Up, I Get Down, the third section of the song, and my personal favorite. They're all perfect. And then Chris Squire, rest in peace, he comes in with some vocals. In her white lace, she could clearly see the lady sadly saying, be back. Bass sounds like about. It's great. And overall, just like it sounds like you're finally the organ is really coming. An experience, nevertheless, to hear that. It's an absolute experience. And finally, after I Get Up, I Get Down goes through, these guitars finally comes back in, back to the chaos of the Solid Time of Change. But then we get back into a last verse here for Seasons of Man Part 4, and then we are left with the absolute climax, one of the most beautiful moments ever in music history. It is the last chorus. I get up, I get down, bow. They repeat a couple times. The last one is massive. I get up, I get down, and then it's just gone. It's fading away, and then you hear the birds, the wildlife sounds, but the fading. So it's kind of like the intro, except the keyboards are fading. And the last minute, again, is the wildlife. And that's Close to the Edge. This is one of my top 10 songs ever, maybe in my top 5, I believe, as well. And though I do love You and I and Siberian Kid True, it's really that title track, man. In my opinion, it's the 6th best song ever. It's like, bro, how do you make a song that good? You know what I'm saying? Every single section of it is just perfection. And yeah, so in my opinion, the 6th best song ever is Close to the Edge. Every single part, the chaos of the Solid Time of Change. The pop, catchy, great rock song, Total Mass Retain. The massive, beautiful, all-time experience of I Get Up, I Get Down, or the incredible climax of Seasons of Man. It's the 6th best song ever. You could argue even higher, but we finally have to move on. So we've been progressively getting farther back in time. And that's actually going to continue here. Now we're going from the 70s to the 60s. We're going back to the 60s. You might be saying, okay, there's a couple ways you could go with this. I'm going with the greatest musicians in history. And I don't have to build it up anymore. I just spoiled it. Because at number 5, the 5th best song of all time, in my opinion, is going to be from the Beatles. Now, which song is it? As I said, the first 4 entries on this list were kind of normal length tracks. The top 6 here are all very long songs. So what's a long Beatles song? In my opinion, the 5th best song in music history. Wait, 5, right? Yeah. My favorite band of all time, the Beatles. The 5th best song in music. Hey Jude. And at number 1, I cannot believe that Hey Jude was a single. And the Beatles didn't want to rip off their fans, which good for them, honestly. But they say they didn't want to rip off their fans, so they didn't release it on an album. Because Hey Jude could have been on the White Album. The White Album is like my 4th favorite album ever. If Hey Jude was on the White Album, I'm sorry, Tears for Fears, but we're probably looking at my favorite. Also, I'm pretty sure Revolution 2 would have been on it if they did it a single thing. It's kind of crazy to think about, but like, if you include its singles released the same year, it was right there with like, you know. So, Hey Jude. I like Drake. He's not better than the Beatles. Like, what? The majority of kids I talked to said Drake was better than the Beatles. I was like, you're just stupid. You're stupid. Like, what? What? But even Beatles haters, which are way too common these days, people saying the Beatles are overrated, they're way too common. But even Beatles haters agree that Hey Jude is a good song. Okay? Greetings from Bahrain. Why do we have all of these international viewers that are definitely not from my area here today? It's kind of crazy. We got... Okay, I'm pretty sure the first viewer here was actually from Brazil. I think. I really honestly don't know. Can you go to channel? And then we got Pennsylvania Shots League players S.J. Breen and L.J. Walker in the chat here. They probably just left, but greetings from Bahrain. That guy's not from Bahrain, I'll tell you what right now, because he recorded an album with me. Who is... Okay, so I'm getting sidetracked here. So even the Beatles haters, which are way too common these days, like if you say the Beatles are overrated, bro, get out of here. It pisses me off. But even the Beatles haters can agree that Hey Jude is one of the best songs ever, because it's iconic. It begins just with Paul McCartney. Hey Jude, don't make it bad. Sing a sad. Okay, I'm just going to sing the entire song. I cannot be doing that. I hate Jude Bellingham, though. I do as well. It's really upsetting how Norway lost. It really is upsetting. And also, since you're in the stay the entire time so someone can hear what my... So it's Hey Jude. It's a pretty simple song, but it's perfect. One of the most perfect, catchy songs ever for the first 3 minutes. And then make it better, better. And then the most, like, iconic extended coda ever. For 4 minutes, they're just going, na, 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 na. It never gets old. Okay? It never gets old. So, Hey Jude is just kind of one of those self-explanatory ones. Because, like, bro, it's Hey Jude. Okay? It's the Beatles. You have to have them on this list. And yeah, there's definitely songs that might be better. Because, like, you know, Tomorrow Never Knows is more experimental. 2 people in the chat. I only see 1 person in the chat. I'm a winner. Yeah, tomorrow's PP game. Check that out, Burlick fans. Okay, that's like gonna be a top 3 game of the year. We might actually even do a full game style one for that one, because that's gonna be a sick week 8 closer. I'll tell you what, really important game for both sides. But let's review our top 10 songs ever list right now. At our number 10 best song of all time, Toxicity by System of a Down. Number 9, Reborn by Kids See Ghosts. Number 8, Down Rodeo by Rage Against the Machine. Number 7, Head Over Heels / Broken by Tears for Fears. Number 6, Close to the Edge by Yes, Liam's favorite. And at number 5, we're going to be going Hey Jude by the Beatles. Again, they have songs that you could argue should be on this list over Hey Jude, like Tomorrow Never Knows or While My Guitar Gently Weeps. Songs that are more important to music, Strawberry Fields Forever. But in my opinion, I think Hey Jude is more loved. It's arguably more timeless, and it's 7 minutes long, so it's like a big experience. A perfect song written for, I believe, Sean or Julian Lennon, one of the ones. And then just the extended coda, the epic, masterful coda for 4 minutes. Na, 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 na. Just can't get enough of it, you know? So that's all I gotta say about it. The fifth best song of all time is gonna be Hey Jude by the Beatles. It's just crazy, man. If they put their singles on albums, Hey Jude would have been on the White Album. And Revolution would have been on the White Album. So now we're going back into the 70s. We have 4 viewers. Okay, now it just went from 4 to 2. So now we go from the 60s back to the 70s, another progressive rock. I feel like I might be skewing a bit too far to progressive rock, but this is also kind of a metal song. It's by maybe the progressive rock band in King Crimson. And it's not from Court of the Crimson King, because it's in the 70s. The 4th best song ever, even better than the Beatles, is going to be Starless by King Crimson. Okay, this song is literally like, okay, I'm trying to be a PG, like, so YouTube doesn't take me down. The last 2 minutes of this song is like, you get what I'm saying, like releasing music. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying there? Is Sam Dot in the top 10. Stick around because it might be. It might be there. But right now we're talking about Starless by King Crimson. I bet Liam HM9QZ hasn't heard this song. He's got to hear this song. So King Crimson, known for literally the lot different every single time. This time we got these 3 goats right here. How are 3 people making this much music? I don't know. But also the sax on this, I believe Mel Collins was the saxophonist on this album right. I should be back here. Pretty sure I'm back here. So we're talking about Starless right now. Sorry, but so this. Okay, so we should be good here now. 4th song of all time. So Starless is a pretty simple song in and of itself. It begins with one of the best sounding drones of all time. It's a Mellotron. So super old-fashioned here. And it just comes in. And it's just the chord progression. It's incredible. And then, of course, the GOAT, Robert Fripp. Is this song over Moonchild? What? Moonchild is not from this album. Sorry, a bit of a cough here. Moonchild is from their debut album. This is not their debut. But so the song has not that many lyrics. I believe there's only 50 words actually on this track. But let's just go through lyrics here. Yeah. So only and then of course it's yeah, that's right, John Wetton. Rest in peace. But he belts absolutely incredibly on this song. Like, my goodness. So I believe there's only 50 words on this, but after this beautiful drone and the incredible iconic guitar, finally lyrics come in. Sundown, dazzling day, gold through my eye, but my eyes turned within only see starless in Bible black. And then, of course, the saxophone. Is the song better than Moonchild? Yet one entry per artist on the list. So yes, it's better than Moonchild. Moonchild is the worst song on their first album, by the way. So why are we talking about Moonchild right now? Anyways, then it comes back in, and overall, just the atmosphere is incredible. The melody is perfect. John Wetton, rest in peace. His vocals are so good. Bill Bruford, who actually worked with Yes on Close to the Edge, killing it with his drums here. But overall, It's just perfect for 4 minutes. The atmosphere is building. You can tell there's tension. Beautiful melodies. The last Starless in Bible Black, he belts out. Oh my gosh. And that is the last vocals of this song. Okay, I put my cell data on, so hopefully that helps. I don't know though. Are we going right now? Are we going? Or are we not going right now? We're going, yeah, okay. Because my internet sucks, so that could have been why it was. My computer, which is on internet, obviously not, cell is not. But the bass comes in here, and this song, like, you probably have heard it if you're watching the channel, except for LJ Walker here. You probably have to hear that song tonight because holy crap, it's the 4th best song ever made. But the song just keeps building. It keeps building, and then these just percussion instruments come in here. There's hitting. The song keeps building, keeps building. The atmosphere is perfect. Every riff is just perfection. Again, because it's the 4th best song ever. Finally, the song stops around the 9-minute mark. Keep going higher. The song saxophone, it is chaotic, but it really works. It goes really hard. And this perfect section just keeps going and going and going until finally, it's so good. But why there are fireworks outside? But overall, the song is going, and then finally these really, really heavy guitars come in, and the saxophone swoops in, and the last 2 minutes of this song is like the definition of in music, like a climax, you know? The saxophone is perfect. It is just the best climax in music history, I'd argue. And just the song's atmosphere mixed with its lyrics, the all-time vocals, the 3 all-time musicians that are on here, and of course, Mel Collins, the saxophonist, who also worked with My Goats Tears for Fears. It's the best climax in music, quite frankly, and I can't really, I always try and, like, narrate these songs, but I can't put it into words how good the climax is, because King Crimson Starless is that good. So I'm gonna stop yapping about it. You gotta check the song out for yourself sometime if you haven't. The 4th best song ever. Okay. What the heck is my Chromebook doing? I don't know how bad my connection is. It probably sucks, because again, I'm streaming on mobile in my room. It's not gonna be very good. Is the return of Chip Douglas a top 10 song? I was actually talking earlier today about that. I'm pretty sure that is the worst song ever made. So, all right. So we've had a ton of really old stuff. Okay, we had we had the Beatles. We had King Crimson, which is probably the best climax in music history. That's a 12-minute song. Our number 3, we're gonna be heading back to the 2010s. We haven't been in the 2000s since our first 2 entries. We're gonna be going to another 12-minute song. You hinted at it earlier. The 3rd best song of all time is going to be Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst by Kendrick Lamar. Best rap song ever made, okay? The top 2 spots in here are not rap, so this is the best rap song ever made. This chorus has been stuck in my head the entire year. When the lights shut off and it's my turn to settle down, my main concern, promise that you will sing about me. It's so good. Like, or the second half of the song, Dying of Thirst, which maybe isn't as good as Sing About Me, but Dying of Thirst is still, like, 10 out of 10. This song would take so long to talk about, like, the story of it. Oh my gosh. Every single bar on here is so good. Like, there's so many different views that people have of this story, and just overall, the beats, like the jazz fusion of the real instruments as the beat, the different connection of the pieces, and of course the last line. Like the last line of this song is just like really just leaves some emotion in you. Like it really does. So, yeah, it really leaves a lot of emotion. Okay, I'm sorry that there's literal bombs and fireworks outside. I don't know what to do about that. So yeah, this is the 10th track on the album. It comes after my other two favorites as well. Mad City and Swimming Pools Drank are like my other two favorites. But overall, this song is 12 minutes. It's multifaceted. It has incredible storylines, different perspectives. And I think Kendrick Lamar's performances, oh my gosh, those fireworks are close. I think Kendrick's performances, I think his rapping, I think the lyrics on here, I think the story, I think the beats itself, the real instrumentation, the melodies, everything about it is just so perfectly crafted that it's kind of hard not to like this song. And the sad thing is, just like with the Beatles, there are some people that do not like this song. They hate on this song. I don't know how people hate on this song. Like, again, everything's perfectly crafted. Kendrick's performance, the rapping, the lyrics of themselves, the story, the messages, the beat, the real instrumentation, the melodies, the features on it, like from all the musicians on here. Overall, the song is considered one of his greatest songs. I believe it's his greatest song. I believe it's the best rap hip hop song ever made. The song is about mortality, legacy, guilt, trauma, and the search for redemption. And that's exactly. Sing About Me, the first half asks a simple but profound question. When I die, will anyone remember me? And man, oh, it's so good. But it's only number 3. It's only number 3, by the way. But yeah. So Kendrick tells the story from multiple perspectives to start the track. Of course, there's the brother of a friend who was killed, and what I really think is interesting about this part is that he's talking about his new album, and then right when he's like about my album, you hear the gunshots, and it just stops, and then bring the chorus back in. One of the most beautiful melodies ever. When the lights shut off and it's my turn to set. Connection sucks. They'll teach me to record in my room. But the other perspectives are sister of the woman Kendrick referred to in an earlier track. This being, I believe, Shireen, right? AKA Master Splinter's daughter. And then Kendrick himself. And just all the lyrics on here are perfect. Again, I just kind of keep saying that. I'm not going to be able to like say it myself. This song is a record amount of lyrics. But just every single way, the song's central idea is telling someone's story in a way of keeping them alive after they're gone. And, just perfect song. The beat is great. The melody has been stuck in my head, and it is perfect. It literally like almost brings a tear to your eye every time. Well, I'm actually thinking about the song right now, and it's like oh my god, wow. But hold up, wait a minute. The song then has the voice of the narrator fades out before the verse finishes, symbolizing that the character has been killed before he can complete his thoughts. My God. Oh. And then we get a little crack in the song here, where I'm sorry, bro. This song, bro, it makes me cry. Oh my gosh. And it's only the 3rd best song of all time. Only the 3rd best song of all time. Bro. Okay. So after Sing About Me fades out, you're left with, it's like a recording of these guys, they're talking about, oh, I give up. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. They're in like the hood, and it's the guy's saying to, his friend, he's like, N-word, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. And then the I'm Dying of Thirst part 2 fades in. There's around like the 7-minute mark. Ooh, it's another just atmospheric, God tier level melody. And then it comes in the drum beat. Ooh. And then the second half shifts meaning. When it's about I'm dying of thirst, thirst isn't literal. It's a metaphor, desperate craving that fuels violence, revenge, destructive behavior. Overall, the meaning of this song is the song in itself. We're breaking up again, real nice here. I don't know what's going on right now. breaking up here. I'm just gonna type that. Yeah, but so overall the song, has another really catchy chorus to it. But overall, as the song finishes up, of course, it has the religious aspect of it, which is the same clip. It's like, these guys that are like, I don't want to do this anymore. This life is bad. And this like priest or someone comes in and she's like, you are dying of thirst. And she's like, is that what I think it is? And overall, just these last lyrics leave a statement. It's so good. I'll look up the lyrics right now. Which are like insanely long. But overall, as I'm dying of thirst, that section finishes up. The priest comes in, she's talking to the people, and she gets them to, say what's going on. Like, she gets them to kind of like give themselves to the Christian religion, give themselves to Jesus Christ, give themselves to God. And the last, line of this, like, this is the start of your new life, your real life. Oh my gosh, I'm actually getting chills with that line. It leaves you stunned every time. It leaves you like, wow. Sing About Me of Dying of Thirst is the third best song ever. I got emotional talking about it. It is the best rap song ever. And it's only the third best song of all time. Kendrick Lamar really did something good there. But now at number 2, we move on to the 2000s, early 2000s, 2001, rock metal genre. The second best song ever made is going to be Lateralus, the title track by Tool. Lateralus by Tool. I really wanted to put this at number 1. I really, but I just cannot do it, and you'll see why. This song, maybe emotionally doesn't leave me as emotional. Wow, good wording there. As Sing About Me of Dying of Thirst, but I don't know if any song does. Lateralus, of course, everybody thinks all their listeners think they're better than everybody because, I listened to the Fettuccine sequence, okay? But here's the thing. When you're including stuff in your music, that's cool and all, but oftentimes people will use it to think that they're better than everyone. Tool doesn't do that. They use this in their music because they find a way to make it sound good. They find a way to make it the second greatest song of all time, okay? And it's Lateralus. So this song is 9.5 minutes. It is iconic in this, all night music sphere. It begins with the riff. And that riff just keeps going in the background here, like these little thumps. Bass comes in. Around a minute, and explodes into these riffs. The riffs go so hard and they just keep repeating, and the drums get more aggressive, more sibilants, until we get into the lyrics, which are their own beast to slay. But overall, the time signatures of this track, of course, is based on the Fibonacci sequence, the golden spiral out, keep going. But it was actually interesting about this part, it goes down, it goes 9/8 into 8/8 into 7/8 into 6/8. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, and then it's back to 9. It's really, really cool. But after this intro is finally completed, which is already like an experience, it's just the drums. Danny Carey, one of my top 5 best drummers of all time. And Maynard, maybe the best vocalist lyricist ever, comes in. Black and white are all that I see. In my infancy, red and yellow then came to me, reaching out to me, lets me see. And not only do the time signatures and the themes follow the golden spiral Fibonacci sequence, but the lyrics and the syllable use also do. And it's, again, it's not using the Fibonacci sequence that makes this so impressive. It's the fact that they make it work and make it one of, if not the greatest song of all time. Everything about it. And then the chorus, overthinking over, I'm not even reading the lyrics here, I just know the song by heart. Overthinking, overanalyzing separates the body from the mind. what? How do people, like, how do you not only get this in your head, but write it down? It's so inspirational, but it's so, like, it's just, It's like floating through the universe and understanding everything about how it works is how the song feels, you know? And overall, that chorus is great. Bring it back in black and white, or let us see. The man can see red yellow then came to me, reaching up to me, lets me see. There is much more that beckons me to look through to the infinite possibilities. And back in pre-chorus, overthinking, overanalyzing separates the body from the mind. Back to the chorus, and then after that, you're left with the guitar solo. The guitar solo is perfect. Into the breakdown, boom. Man, how do you get better than that? Well, here the build-up starts. You just have with the bass, which is kind of going like do 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 do, like the intro. Then the hi-hat comes in. Really like super like rhythmic, and then the guitar's going like bow 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 bow. That part comes in, and then Maynard is like coming back here. Now after he had the vocals, Maynard is really good at switching. Sometimes he's just really like what is it, like aggressive vocals, but also sometimes he has really it's kind of atmospheric and restrained vocals, and then he comes back here during the build up. I embrace my desire to feel the rhythm, to feel connected, enough to step aside and weep like a widow, to feel inspired, to fathom the power, to witness the beauty, to bathe in the fountain, to swing on the spiral, too. And while this is going, not only is it one of the best melodies ever, but everything is building up. Swing on the spiral of our divinity and still be a human. And then the guitar, bow, wow, wow, and it sounds massive. This guitar is huge while the drums are going all over the place. Danny Carey going ham like usual, and the bass is like doon doon boo doon doon doon. And Tool, they usually don't overdub stuff like that. So since they only have one guitarist and one bassist, usually what's going on is that it's the guitar doing the lead, and then the bass is doing its own thing as well. So you're like, isn't that going to sound empty on the low end? It doesn't, because the bass really like is complex, but it's rhythmic, and the drums are going all over and really filling in for those empty gaps that are sometimes there. And oh my gosh, like it leaves you speechless every time. But overall, the song keeps going. Yeah. Stops. Just guitar and the bass and drums come back in. They're going really slow. They're going like banging really fast. And the bass is just sliding up and down the fretboard. It's like bow, wow, bow, wow, bow, wow. And though this sounds massive and it's some of the best climaxes in music of all time, again, Maynard's lyrics. I'm just going to read them again here. With my feet upon the ground, I lose myself. Between the sounds and open wide to suck it in, I feel it move across my skin. I'm reaching up and reaching out. I'm reaching for the random or whatever will bewilder me. Whatever will bewilder me. And following our will and wind we may just go where no one's been. We'll ride the spiral to the end and may just go where no one's been. And then there's the Tool line, spiral out, keep going. This is repeated 4 times. The last one, oh my gosh. The guitar, now. It's a climax. It all stops. And one hit, drum hit, and the final climax. And then you're done. It's 9 minutes. The first time I heard this one, it's actually the first Tool album I ever got. I watched the Watch Mojo list, sadly. They put Schism at number 2. And like Schism's everybody's Tool song, so I thought that was their best song because Schism was like the only song I knew. But then they put Lateralis at 1. I was like, Lateralis, how could you put that at number 1? The first day I got the CD, I put it on just to see. My mind was blown. I honestly wish I could go back to the time I first heard this song. But everything about it, the fact they utilized the Fibonacci sequence in the rhythms, in the themes, and the lyrics, and the syllable use of the lyrics, that is all great. But the thing about it is they make it sound good doing it. That's what's so good about it. And it's the title track on this album. It is one of the most epic, massive sounding songs ever. And yeah, it is the second best song of all time. So now we enter number 1. Thanks for like the 3 people coming into the chat. Someone just came into the chat right when I said that. So that's pretty cool. I remember finding you from your Deftones video. Hi, how are you? Thanks for coming to the stream here because not a lot of people doing it. First stream here. We're going over the top 10 songs ever. Doing pretty good. And as we enter our number one spot for what I believe is objectively the greatest song ever, let's go through our list. The 10th best song, Toxicity by System of a Down. Kids See Ghosts Reborn by Kids See Ghosts. Dan Rodeo by Rage Against the Machine. Head Over Heels / Broken by Tears for Fears. Close to the Edge by Yes. Hey Jude by the Beatles. Starless by King Crimson, the one that made me cry in this stream. Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst by Kendrick Lamar. And our number 2 was Lateralis by Tool. And if you guys know my channel, obviously I made my new profile picture. I went from a black YouTube play button to, a To Be Kind face. So, To Be Kind is by Swans. And I like Swans. This list has reached its end here. The greatest song ever made in human history, at least songs that I've heard. The greatest song ever made is The Glowing Man by Swans, the title track from the 2016 release. Oh my gosh. Wow. So this, in my opinion, is the pinnacle of musical achievement by humans. Like, where do you even begin? Okay, I might make a whole video dedicated to just me reacting and showing, me, reacting to the song. It's the longest song on this list. It's 28 minutes. That's right, it's almost half an hour long. And, Swans, I could have picked so many tracks. I'd argue my favorite Swan song is Oxygen, and then it would be The Glowing Man. But if we're talking about the best songs ever, we've got to be objective. So, I feel like The Glowing Man is objectively better. So, yeah, maybe it's not going to make me cry like Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst almost made me cry, but it will make me feel like Swans kind of, unlocks a primal emotion in you. I've wanted to check out Swans, but I never knew where to start. Can you give me an album to listen by them? Yeah, if I were to start with Swans, I would not start with The Glowing Man, because the title track, though, I believe it's the greatest song ever made. This entire album is very ethereal. It's very slow-paced, and it's kind of just it takes you a while to get into it. So this is not where I would start. If I were you, I would start with the GOAT album, In To Be Kind, which is my favorite Swans album. The one with the baby on it. It's on my new profile picture for this channel. The thing about To Be Kind is that, the actual album itself is pretty simple. It's pretty simple. A lot of the songs follow the same ideas, but it shows every side of the band. It's just great. To Be Kind. It's absolutely elite. And even on my first listen, now it's a 10 out of 10. It's my third favorite album ever. But on first listen, I didn't get it all yet, so we'll take a couple listens to get to. Just like how The Glowing Man title track does. It's the best song ever, okay? It begins with this drone, which is it actually from To Be Kind, their 34-minute song from To Be Kind, Bring the Sun / To Saint Livator. Actually, it references that. It begins with the drone here. It's just really beautiful, and there's some knocking in the background, and some people in the back be like, okay, let's get ready, let's go. You hear the guitars come in, wow. And this is just one of the most beautiful drones ever. It's just so beautiful. It's just kind of, in my opinion, the most beautiful drone ever. Looking at this list here, it's kind of close. But it's probably, in my opinion, the opening to Just a Little Boy by Swans. That's the second track on To Be Kind. But this one might be the second most beautiful ambient drone ever. The song builds, and finally you get into this, I don't even know what it is, explosion. Michael Gira, their singer, and my GOAT is going. I break up a lot. If I actually am. What am I doing? That's my alternate account. But Michael Gira starts his lyrics, and he is, he sounds insane. I think I'm back. I'm not really sure. My internet sucks here because I'm filming in my room, which I'm probably never going to do again. But he starts up with the lyrics here, and he's the thing about Swan's lyrics is that they're so abstract, but they make so much sense in the context of the album. He is he's a real go-getter, he's a real heartbreaker, yeah, he's a real head splitter. And the thing about it is, it's so primal. It's so aggressive. And then he's like, no, 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 yes, no, no. I don't know how it works, but these drums are like, and everything else is building, building, building. And he keeps saying, no, 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 yes. Last time he goes, no. And the song just releases. And there's these, like, I forget what they're called, but like not the hammer dulcimers, the other thing, like the steel, the steel, what does the guy play? It's Christoph Hahn. It's the lap steel, I'm pretty sure is what it is. But they're like strumming and they're like, you're left with the drone again, and it's just like for about 2 or 3 minutes, it's just like pure like desolate beauty. I don't even know how to describe it, but that's kind of how I would say it. But then we go back to track 4 from To Be Kind, Bring the Sun, and it references that again, these excerpts that they use in these songs, which really makes a lot of sense when you listen to their trilogy, which is The Seer, To Be Kind, and The Glowing Man. Makes a lot of sense. It just comes in, burn down, burn down, burn down. It's these 2 guitar strums, these 2 drum hits. They sound massive. They sound like 2 pulsars in the middle of a galaxy or something colliding, and it keeps going for like 3+ minutes. The aggression goes more and more as it keeps going, this repetition. They go up a chord, they go back down a chord, releases, and then their drummer, who is always a master of like simplicity and just great groove, stamina, rhythm, he goes ham. He's drumming all over the place while these chords still go. Finally releases, boom, and then you're left in the desolate beauty again. It comes back in, it torches you, bam, clashing of guitars, the song's breaking down on itself, back again, back again. And for a couple minutes, you're left with this progression of it completely destroying you, clashing of guitars, and this little ambience. And finally, around the halfway point, around the 15-minute mark, you hear the piano. Bam, 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 bam. And now you're about to get into it. The groove starts up, and it doesn't stop. The guitar comes in. The drums. It's just one of the hardest riffs ever. Like, honestly, it's such a hard riff. That just keeps going and keeps going. And then every once in a while, there's a release. This choir in the background. Oh, the choir in the background. And they bring it back in, back to the riff. And then finally, that stops. It's just the bass and the drums. And the bass sounds great here. It's like kind of chuggy. I don't even know why I think this, but it's kind of like Rage Against the Machine vibes almost. But that comes in, and then finally Michael Gira starts playing the guitar, and it's this really heavy strums. It's like dun, 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 dun. He's going for about a minute, and then boom, stops, left with the bass again. And finally the vocals begin, and it's about the glowing man that Michael Gira has always felt in his body. He's given a name for this figure that he believes is part of him, Joseph. And he starts the vocals in this groove here. Here he goes. Joseph is standing behind my back. The song explodes. Then it brings you back like 10 seconds later back to the riff. He says something again. Joseph is digging his hands in my chest. It explodes again. And this is this entire segment of the song here. Michael Gira is giving out these really like abstract, pieces of himself about what Joseph, this figure that he views himself as in his body. And it just, that with a hard riff, and then it goes into this really like atmospheric, and then they bring it back. And it's really, really good. This continues, and then the name drop happens. Okay, we get into it. It's still the same grooves, same stuff going on, but it drops back in, and Michael Gira says it. I am a glowing man, I am. And then, oh my gosh, and it goes so hard, it's so loud, the riffs are going crazy. The groove's still going. I'm a glowing man, oh yeah. Bow, wow, 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 wow. It's so good, and the groove continues, and then it continues. He's talking about being the glowing man, and then I am no thing. What is what? And he just reaches these like really good primal notes that are so fun to sing along with. The choir in the background's going like da, 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 da. The groove continues for about 10 minutes, 25-minute mark. The song does this thing where it just explodes on itself, and it sounds like a universe colliding with another universe. and it's going like, bam, everything's clashing. You can hear like the piano going up and down, these guitars clashing with these perfectly mixed drums. And it's actually, you might be thinking, why? It's the most perfectly working climax ever. And the song finishes. Yeah, breaking up again. That makes sense. Well, yeah, it's been laggy the entire time. Just what happens when we film in the room here, I guess. But then we get, into yeah, it keeps clashing and then it brings back, you hear the guitar, like the resonance of the guitar, back into it. They just keep repeating these clashings, these climaxes into these drones. They bring it back in, and finally on the last one, it's the end because one of the band members just screams out and he goes like, ah! And then that's it. They reference this as an excerpt in one of their songs on their 2023 album, The Beggar, later on, actually. And it's just these horns mixed with these guitars and these fading resonant tones, and they hit the high note, meow, and they keep going, and it's just like doing that for about a minute, and then it just stops. Like there's no like long reverb to it. It just kind of ends, and then the song ends. So, The Glowing Man by Swans, in my opinion, on this live stream, is the greatest song ever made. In the description, I have a link to my Spotify playlist. It is not in any particular order. It is just, I believe, the order that I added them, but the link will be in the description. It is the Spotify playlist of my top 10 greatest songs ever. Let's review this list, shall we? Because it's a pretty good one. Actually, this is the time when I almost cried on stream, because when I talk about this song right here, the number 3 entry, I almost cry. I got teary-eyed. That's usually what happens. So, we're going to review this list here on stream. Let's just get into it. Number 10, Toxicity by System of a Down. The title track from this album. Perfect riffs, iconic. What do you want, Disorder? Somewhere between the Sacred Silence. It's a perfect nu metal rock song. Number 9, Reborn by Kids See Ghosts, Kanye West, Kid Cudi. One of the most uplifting, psychedelic, beautifully produced songs ever. And I could have argued to take it off the list, but I wanted another rap representation, and I believe that I just believe that it really what an album cover. I think the song is super uplifting. Its production is perfect. The verses, the melodies. I feel like everybody can just kind of collectively agree it's really good. Yeah, it's just Steelers album is my favorite System of a Down album. Even if I think that Toxicity is their best song, the Steelers album is in my top 10 favorite albums ever. Number 8, Down Rodeo by Rage Against the Machine. Again, a lot of people would probably pick Bulls on Parade. I think Down Rodeo ultimately has the harder riffs. It's more multifaceted, has 3 different incredible phases, and overall, just the lyrics and the riffs go absolutely hard. Like, again, literally, if you had to get a tattoo of a song lyric that had nothing to do with something that you're involved with, I would definitely get those lyrics tattooed. Yeah, this album's a 10 out of 10. Every song in it is basically perfect. But I just think simply that Down Rodeo is the ultimate peak of Rage Against the Machine. Number 7, it is Head Over Heels / Broken by Tears for Fears. You might want to lean to Everybody Wants to Rule the World. That's completely fine. But overall, I believe that this song is more multi-phased. It is a perfect love song that is also super psychological. It has a perfect chorus. The last 2 minutes is some of the best music I've ever heard. Just like the melody that they have when they're all singing na 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 is just so perfect. And the last minute is the live recording of Broken with the absolutely phenomenal. It's a fantastic guitar solo, and they just go ham over the last minute. So I think it's just kind of a perfect song. Number 6, Close to the Edge, the title track from Yes, Close to the Edge album. Part 1, The Solid Time of Change. Part 2, Total Mass Retained. Part 3, I Get Up, I Get Down. Part 4, Seasons of Man. This is just a perfect symphonic progressive rock song. I believe that everything it goes for is beautiful. It's one of the most massive sounding songs ever. Its climaxes, melodies, lyrics, musicianship is all right there. And progressive rock is one of those genres that you just have these really long, masterful songs with this all-time musicianship. So it's kind of hard not to include some of those tracks. Ain't that the same band that made the song? Yeah. This is the same band that made the song Roundabout. Roundabout's incredible. I love this song. But if you're talking about the best Yes songs from the album Roundabout is on, the song Heart of the Sunrise. Wow, that's a great song. But ultimately, I went with Close to the Edge, the title track. Number 5, best song of all time. Let's take a water break here. Just like the World Cup. Okay, there's a hydration break. Top 5 songs of all time now. Number 5, Hey Jude by the Beatles. Again, you could argue maybe Tomorrow Never Knows, While My Guitar Gently Weeps. What else? Like, you know, the medley on Abbey Road are like more groundbreaking songs. But overall, I believe that Hey Jude is kind of a song that everybody loves. It's kind of hard not to like the song. And it's 7 minutes. It is a perfect pop song in every way for 3 minutes. And then the last, more than a song, is just the extended coda, the na 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 part. And it is epic. It is the most like community thing ever. Everybody sings along at that part. And it never gets old. It never gets old. I just cannot believe they didn't put that single on an album. Imagine if Hey Jude was on the White Album. Would have been crazy. Number 4, Starless by King Crimson. Maybe the best progressive rock song ever. Maybe the best climax in music ever. Atmosphere, lyrics, of course, musicianship. You have Bill Bruford from Yes, John Wetton, rest in peace, and of course Robert Fripp and Mel Collins, who again did saxophone with Tears for Fears as well. I just think the entire song, its atmosphere is incredible. The riffs, the saxophones, and again, the last 2 minutes might be the best saxophone hook ever and might be the best climax in music history. Number 3, the song that got me to cry today. Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst by Kendrick Lamar at our number 3 spot here, the best rap song ever made. Just, again, everything about it. Of course, Kendrick's own performance, his lyricism, the story to the song, the audios that are put in the middle and at the end of it, the message, the story, the storytelling, and of course the actual beats themselves by the real musicians, the melodies, like the melodies too, not just the rapping, the melodies. I have not been able to stop singing, Promise That You Will Sing About Me. That's been in my head the entire year. And it's just so emotional, again, that last line leaves chills every time. This is the start of your real life. This is the start of your new life, your real life. And just like the strings, holy, it's just so darn good. It didn't make me cry, but it's amazing. I think I need to re-listen and pay attention. It never made me cry until today. I was talking about it on stream, on this, because it was the number 3 position. And, I was going through, different segments of the song, and then I thought about, the chorus again, and the part, the religious, themes also included. And it was just kind of wow, this is really that good. And just, the melodies are beautiful. And, it's a song about never wanting to be forgotten and about, doing bad things, not finding a spot spiritually, and dying of thirst figuratively. Yeah. Number 2, Lateralis by Tool. Progressive metal masterpiece. The use of all of these time signatures, the Fibonacci sequence, and making it sound good. Not in time signatures, not only in that, but also in lyrics and syllables. And just the all-time climax, spiral out, keep going. Just everything about it. It's just so good. It's man, what an album, what a climax as well. And this album's incredible. And then, yes, my number 1, we're going to go back to it. It is The Glowing Man by Swans. I like Swans quite a bit. It's probably not my favorite Swan song. Again, that probably goes to Oxygen. But if we're talking about the best songs ever, ultimately, out of the top 10 best songs ever, in my opinion, but also trying to be objective, I believe that The Glowing Man by Swans does take the list. So, this is the best song of all time right here. And it just fell. Best song. Not my favorite Swans album. That would go To Be Kind, but... So that's kind of the stream. I'm trying to stream more. Consider checking out, my other stuff. I got my band, Bulls Cream of Wheat. We're available on Bandcamp, on Spotify. The link to this playlist in Spotify is in the description. Also, it's just man, so much good music out there. I'm sure a lot of these songs could be beaten technically, but I think it's a pretty good variety of genres for a top 10 list. And I think that it really kind of just correlates objectively, with my personal opinion. And I think it's a pretty good ranking of itself because the first 4 entries, the bottom 4 on this top 10 list are all kind of, shorter songs, and the top 6 are like the long magnum opuses of sorts. But yeah, if you haven't heard any of these songs, anybody watching this, if you haven't heard any of these songs, make sure to check them all out because they're all pretty life-changing, especially the number 1. Check out the CD hauls. Nice. Thank you. That's going to be the stream. I have tomorrow for our league. It's in my featured channels list. We have our professional that is, Pennsylvania Penalty Shots League. Tomorrow it's one of the biggest games of the year in between the team that was ranked number 1 before the season and that is still fighting for a playoff spot and the undefeated team. So that's going to be really cool. It's going to be a really good game. It's going to be at 12 o'clock Eastern. Obviously PM, not in the morning. So yeah. Consider checking that out. Best song of all time has got to be The Glowing Man. We're going to end the stream here. So that's it. Yeah. End button. End.